Okay, hello and welcome to our Spring 2014 CRM webcast series. I'm Jason Gumpert and we are here today for the last session in the series. This is our CRM Showcase event. It's been a busy spring. We started this series back in April and we've covered a range of topics. I really had to zoom out. I apologize. It's a little hard to read off the list of sessions, but it's been a great series. We've covered all sorts of topics from CRM 2013 capabilities to best practices in sales, customer service, marketing, and I do invite you to check it out. You can access all those sessions on demand, and I'll post a link in a little while as well. We couldn't run the series without our sponsors, and I want to thank them for being a part of it today. They will each be presenting on their vision for CRM-related capabilities and solutions in the dynamic space. We have presenters on the line from PowerObjects, Scribe Software, and Silverpop. And each presenter is going to take 15 minutes, and we will begin in just a moment. We do invite you to ask your questions throughout the session. Use the Q&A block that you'll see to the right of the slides. And we'll make sure to leave time at the end to have those questions answered. So without further delay, I'm going to now get things started. Each presenter, as I think I mentioned, will have 15 minutes to present. And our first presenter today is Nick Wassenberg of PowerObjects. So Nick, I am going to give you control and open up your phone line.
Very good. Thank you, Jason. Can everyone, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you, and I can see your slides.
Excellent. Very good. Well, as Jason said, I appreciate everybody being with us here today. I'm going to give you kind of an overview of PowerObjects as a dynamic CRM partner, and then kind of put a little bit of a marketing slant on what we cover here today. That's kind of my role at PowerObjects, and so for those of you that don't know, PowerObjects is a dynamic CRM-focused partner. So we're not a software provider or an ISV. We're a professional services firm that really touches on a few different areas, but focus centrally on dynamic CRM as a product and Microsoft as a partner. So that's how we've managed to kind of hone our focus, and that's the world that we live in. That's what we do with our customers, is help them connect CRM to solve their business problems. So my role here at PowerObjects is as the practice director for marketing solutions, and so that actually means that I am not on the marketing team. I'm on the sales/delivery team and helping our customers connect dynamic CRM to their different marketing technologies. So you'll hear from other folks today that talk about marketing technology, which I think will be informative, and our central kind of goal in life is to help people connect those types of technologies that we've developed ourselves, and others that are from the Microsoft channel to CRM. So CRM as the foundation, as the cornerstone of the business, and as the cornerstone of marketing as well. So if we jump in and just give you a little bit of an overview about PowerObjects, we're, as I said, a professional services consulting firm. We've been in existence for about 20 years, but in the last, 6 or 7 years is when we really made the pivot to focus specifically on dynamic CRM. And so that focus has really helped us get a lot closer to that product specifically, and get a lot closer to helping our customers. And that's really been an inflection point for the company and the ability for us to provide value to our customers. So we are focused in that way. We're headquartered here in Minneapolis in Minnesota, but we do have offices throughout the country, as well as moving into Canada here in the near future. So we serve clients globally, certainly have folks on the road globally all the time, but we have offices spread out throughout the United States as well. We've had 750 plus successful implementations, so lots of satisfied customers, and those customers come from lots of different verticals, lots of different sizes, shapes, business models, etc. But we tend to think of ourselves as focused on the dynamic CRM product with the ability to serve lots of different customers around that product. So that's how we deliver to that customer base. Related to that, we've got deep business and technical skill sets that help us really connect to that product to solve business problems. That's kind of how we see the world. We're not just applying technology, we're helping our customers solve business problems, whether it be in service, marketing, and sales as well, and kind of, throughout the entire, every multi-department in the business, helping them solve problems through Dynamics CRM. We've won Partner of the Year from Microsoft a couple times, and we see ourselves as a high-growth company and continuing to add value in new channels, including in the marketing space, which is what we'll touch on a little bit in a bit here. PowerObjects in general has 4 pillars of how we provide value. So service, including implementation, deployment, understanding requirements, and configuring CRM to help folks have a successful launch of the product. We have a robust education offering. We've got a whole team of education-specific folks. We have a training center here in Minneapolis that are designed around doing things like getting new user adoption strong, adding new users as needed throughout the organization, and doing boot camps that are topic-specific and workshops that are topic-specific related to anything from, sales users to marketing users to business intelligence to getting the metrics out of CRM that you need to run your business. So strong education offering that's really helped us connect in a deeper and more meaningful way with our customers and helping our customers get more value out of CRM. We do have an event coming up in September. That's our big annual customer and others conference that's specifically related to some really in-depth CRM content. So I'll talk a little bit about that moving forward, but that is one of our big events here coming up in the fall. We also provide support, so typical kind of support that's needed to have a base of users that's engaged in using the product, so you can see some of the examples of how that comes together. One part that is unique to us, I suppose, and unique that a lot of people have really taken as a meaningful and valuable addition is what we call Power Success. So that would be, think of it as service as a subscription model. So we have a set monthly fee that really provides you dedicated resources and becomes an extension of your administrative staff for CRM. And so that's a model that has seen a lot of growth, and it's really adding a lot of value in that way to a predictable monthly allocation for that support offering. And then the fourth column there, labeled in purple, is our add-ons. We call that the Power Pack. They're individual add-ons. This is just a sample. I think we have 20 total add-ons at this time, but they're all related to extending the functionality and the features that are inside of CRM based on some common requirements from our customers. So I'll tell you a little bit more about some of the marketing-related ones going forward, but we've got 20 add-ons that are based on features and functionality that were common requests from our customers. So we've built them out, and now we offer them to the general public or all users at large as a very low monthly cost subscription per user, $1 or $2 per user to use those, and they're all managed solutions inside of CRM that folks use to be more productive, execute on some tactics, communication tactics, and really build out the features and functionality of CRM with those extensions and those add-ons. In terms of marketing solutions, so I'm the practice director here for the Marketing Solutions Group. We kind of extend that focus on CRM to marketers, and so we help marketing technologists solve business problems. So if we think about CRM solving broader business problems for the entire organization, the marketing solutions here at PowerObjects is helping marketing technologists solve some of the problems that they have and the issues that they're trying to address. So one way to think about it is that we don't provide creative services and we don't create assets for our customers, but what we do is help them understand the technologies that they have. We help them integrate the technologies that they are either adding or updating to make them sync with CRM. So again, CRM as the cornerstone of the marketer's kind of toolkit. The technologies that we're connecting and helping our customers connect to CRM are the Power Pack. We've got this new product from Microsoft called Dynamics Marketing, new product from Microsoft called Microsoft Social Listening, and then beyond. So we've got lots of customers on varied marketing automation platforms, using different solutions to address their marketing needs. So we just did a webinar last week actually on how to make those choices and how to figure out which marketing technologies are the right fit. So I think that's already posted at the MS Dynamics World website, so you can check that out. But that's, you know, we're here to help understand what the landscape looks like and how to make sure that the marketing technology that's being applied is going to be integrated and maximizing the benefit that you're getting from CRM. So we really see CRM as that business solution platform, and marketing is an extension of that. So we want to connect the marketing tactics and strategy back to CRM. Most common things from a marketing perspective that we're helping our customers address would be managing performance. So that could be everything from how do we understand what assets we need to build and how do we manage the projects to get those assets out the door, to managing actual campaigns and doing communication that helps people connect lead generation and demand generation to revenue and to the sales alignment piece. So managing performance that way. Reducing costs, so everyone is trying to understand what the next investment should be in terms of either tools or tactics. So where are we going to apply our next dollar in terms of marketing and make sure that it's going to be provide the highest return that we can receive. And then prioritizing that investment. So if we think about our plan, whether it's quarterly or annual plan for what we want to achieve in marketing, how do we prioritize where we're going to allocate our money and allocate our time and our creativity to execute on that marketing. So those are the things we hear, and again, we are trying to help our customers align the technology with the marketing tactics and strategy, and basically, help marketers get back to marketing. Is the way that I think about it. So help them understand personas, help them be creative, help them create and execute on compelling messaging that goes out to the general public and that hits the audience in the right way and achieves the results they want to receive. From PowerObjects perspective, we have a process that's been proven over those 750 different engagements, and it's a process that really walks our customers through understanding where they want to go and how they're going to get there, and understanding what resources they need to apply to help achieve their vision. So from evaluation process, we then build a plan for success. We design, build, and validate, and then we help train and deploy, and then we are engaged on the life cycle side. So making sure that the systems, whether they need updating or whether they need maintenance, we're there to provide that assistance. And I see this, the reason I'm showing you this is, the marketing pieces that we'll look at all have this proven process that get applied. And so some of them will be more incremental, and some of them will be this proven process will be fairly streamlined, but it all follows the same path to get to that vision and get to that full, both achieving what you want to achieve and then having a life cycle in place that's going to support that. So I see my time is ticking away. I gotta move a little faster. From the impact template, here is one thing that we show marketers to help them understand what tools and tactics and metrics they want to apply. So if we start in the upper left with a business need, say we want to decrease customer churn, the marketing strategy that our customer may want to latch onto to decrease that churn is to do some content marketing, so engaging customers with content. And we'll need to apply tools and tactics and metrics to achieve those goals and address that marketing strategy need. So in this case, it's email marketing. So we need an email service provider, and the metrics we're going to use would be opens, clicks, and shares of those emails. So in a simple sense, what are the things that we need to execute on our strategy? If we build that out and we add some more tactics, tools, and metrics, our impact template shows us what we need to add, and if we're going to build out a more robust content strategy and content marketing plan, we need to add some tactics and we need to add some tools. But we always need to continue to connect it back to strategy, connect it back to the metrics that we're going to be measuring, and above all, connect it back to CRM as that hub of the metrics that are going to help inform that strategy going forward. From PowerObjects perspective, as I said, we have some add-ons that we've developed ourselves. They come from common CRM feature requests. They all have a click, try, subscribe, so you have a 30-day free trial that you can go ahead and use these add-ons and see if they're the right fit for you, see how they work and get a feel for them. They're all managed solutions built specifically for Dynamics CRM, so very tightly integrated, very easy to install and start to use. Takes minutes to install them. And then the other nice thing, or the other unique thing, is that you can just take one add-on at a time and only use the features that you're actually going to need. So we see that from time to time that people are using different marketing automation pieces or tools, and they're only using a small subset of the features. With our Power Pack add-ons, you can only select the ones that you're going to need. As I said, low cost. We just hit 80,000 users worldwide, so they're widespread, used all over the world for lots of different situations. The ones that are specific to marketing would be Power MailChimp, Power Score for lead scoring, Power Social for monitoring and replying via social, Power Web Traffic for tracking web behavior, Power WebForm for gathering actual content marketing leads from the web and filling out landing page web forms. Power Survey helps us connect information and do survey execution right outside of CRM. Power SMS lets us send text messages from CRM, and Power App Event helps us manage events and registration right inside of CRM. Again, each of these is managed inside of CRM. On the Power MailChimp side, quick view of that. So you're seeing, obviously, inside of CRM, we're seeing a single individual and the exposure that they've gotten from Power MailChimp messages. So we've got some metrics that are displayed here, as you can see, kind of your typical email metrics, bounce, clicks, opens, sent, etc. We chose to partner with Power MailChimp as the back end for this because they're a world-class, email service provider. Lots of high stakes in terms of deliverability and whitelisting and that sort of thing that they're really good at. So that's where we chose to take this add-on, was to leverage some of that robustness. And since it's in CRM, we've got all the reporting and execution that happen in there, in that tool, familiar tool, and we can execute and understand our email marketing results right in the CRM as we execute those campaigns. Power WebForm, similar. So we've got a way to set up web forms and then embed them on existing landing pages. WebForm has a deduplication feature. We can also trigger messages and workflows. We can align campaigns in with either email marketing or Power Web Traffic to understand what our customer behavior looks like.
We are
also
at
have
time.
Power Social. Oh, I'm on time?
Yeah, we're at 15 minutes.
Okay, just let me fast forward and I'll close it up here. So the one thing that I'll leave you with, obviously didn't get to everything that I hoped to, but as marketers and as teams using CRM to communicate both with customers and leads, you want to start with what your needs are. So understanding the market, the customers, generating demand, raising awareness, designing campaigns, and executing on marketing tactics, including inbound marketing. But keep in mind, PowerObjects can help you determine what fits and when you can implement and how to make that process really integrated with your current infrastructure and your CRM. So think about marketing in terms of CRM, the Power Pack add-ons, new Dynamics marketing and social. Okay. And for more information, we had a webinar last week and tons more information at the PowerObjects blog. Thanks, and sorry I went a little long.
All right, thanks, Nick. And I am going to give control over to Rich. And Rich, I'll give you, feel free to take an extra 45 seconds or so, because that's just to keep things even. Let me open up your phone line. Rich, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, great. How about the screen? Screen look okay?
Yep, we see the screen now.
All right, good. All right. So first off, let me say thank you, Jason, for the opportunity to allow Scribe to be a part of this this presentation today, and also a thank you very much for those that have joined our session today. So my name is Rich Verdacey, and I am a sales engineer here at Scribe Software, and today I wanted to chat with you a little bit about the data challenge. So, customers today, they've got many different touch points through which they receive and send data. And those touch points, those data stores, they feed a variety of applications which traditionally have been owned by a particular department or function within an organization. Today, the amount of data moving back and forth has grown exponentially, and the touch points have grown exponentially as well. And it all resides on different platforms. Some are in the cloud, some are on-premise. And so as to meet the customer expectations, that data needs to easily and instantly flow across the organization. This shift has completely changed the integration needs of many different companies. Now, there's a saying that the odds of hitting your target go up dramatically when you aim at it. This also holds true within the marketing and sales organizations of any company, and is the primary reason to integrate their respective activities. Creating standalone business value for a customer's clients, regardless of its departmental origin, is not as effective as it could be if it were shared and integrated with those other departments with similar goals across the organization. Now, having marketing and sales silos integrated not only sets the stage for a clear and unified approach to the target markets, but also provides the visibility based on sales as to which campaigns are working and those that are not. Now, the goal of the front to back office integration is to combine disparate and disconnected business processes, applications, and other data sets and translate them into a tool that will, number one, manage customer relationships more effectively. Number two, reduce operational costs. Number three, increase productivity, profitability, and consistency. And number four, achieve sustainable competitive advantage over the long term. So having said that, what I wanted to do, I wanted to share with you today an overview as to what Scribe is actually providing out there in the marketplace. And it is an integration platform. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. One second. We'll get right to that. Let's try that one more time. Okay, so everybody should be able to see my desktop here. And I'm currently running Scribe Online, which is our integration platform. It is a cloud-based solution, and I'm currently logged into my deployment of Scribe Online. So as you look at this interface, very graphical oriented, so you don't have to be, and I honestly say this, you don't have to be a programmer or any kind of developer to be able to use this product. So what you're seeing here basically are two areas. The top area here at the very top is the integration services module. You can see there's a banner there that says integration services. And then the lower part of the screen, it represents the replication services module. So we have two modules that provide various functionalities depending on what the business use case requirement is from an integration perspective. So what I wanted to talk about today was mainly focus on integration services, but before I jump into that, I did want to talk about the lower half of the window that you're currently looking, which is the replication services. Now, replication services provides the ability to replicate the data of your choice that exists in the cloud, and it could be, Microsoft Dynamics CRM Online, it could be, Salesforce.com, whatever the case may be. We can actually connect into that database, and we can replicate down to a local SQL Server database, could be an Oracle database, it could be a MySQL database, and provide visibility to the to your organization with regards to that data that is existing in the clouds. And there's many reasons to do that. One could be, legal reasons to be able to have a copy of that data that's on-premise. Another reason might be that I want to do robust reporting, the same type of reporting that I was able to do before I moved all my data to the cloud. So a couple different reasons that you may want to replicate. And what's nice about this particular module is as that data is replicated, whether it's the entirety of your data set within Dynamics CRM Online, or if you just wanted a subset, I just want my accounts, I want my contacts, I want my sales orders, you can pick and choose what makes sense to you from an entity level. Anything that occurs after the initial replication, that net change activity is also captured. So initially, obviously, a lot of data could potentially be replicated down to your local database, but anything after that, we would only do net change activity. All right, so that's a little bit about replication services. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the integration services here at the top. And I'm just trying to get up here to my mouse, and let's see if I can do that. Interesting. All right, Jason, I'm not sure if you can lend a hand here, but what I'm trying to do, I'm not seeing my mouse on the screen here, so I'm having a little difficulty.
Why don't we have you, I just have something pop up. Maybe you want to stop sharing and start again, and it'll bring it back up to the surface.
Okay, well, there we go. I can't see my mouse, but I'm assuming I might know where it's at, so I got to be very careful as I click here. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the interface of Scribe Online from an integration services perspective. So let's say you want to build out an integration for a particular use case that you have within your organization. And the way you do that with the Scribe Online platform in this non-programmatic environment is by creating yourself a solution. And you can see here at the very top, I've got 4 tabs. I've got a general tab, I've got an agent, a maps, and a schedule tab. So the general tab is just, as you can see here, where you give your solution a name. The tab next to it, the agent tab, this is pretty much the workhorse, if you will, of your integration. And an agent can reside both in the cloud as well as on-premise, so depending on what your integration needs are, this particular agent, the engine of your integration, will perform the actual heavy lifting of that data based on the data maps that you create using the Scribe Online platform. And then the third tab here, this is where you actually create the maps, and this is where I wanted to spend the majority of my time. But I'm just going to kind of move to my right a little bit and click on the Schedule tab. And here the Schedule tab is typically where you would go ahead and define the frequency of your run. You know, whether I want it to run down to the seconds, or if I wanted to run it, you know, once a day, or maybe just on the weekends. So you have a lot of flexibility in terms of when you want your specific integrations to run. So they can be scheduled or they could be event-based. So I can have an event on a third-party web portal. That event can be captured by Scribe Online, and it can initiate the running of an integration. So you've got different ways of being able to integrate data. So I'm going to click on Maps here, and I'm going to go down to the map that you see here in the top portion of your screen, which says Customers Filtered Sync Map. I'm just going to double-click on it, and what you're seeing here is the user environment as to how you build out your integrations using the Scribe Online platform. On the far left, you can see there's the query account. Below that, there's the for each result, and then there's a third block there that says create account. So that's pretty simple, right? I mean, it's using Scribe Online is really based on the logic that you would like to impart on your particular integrations. So you can see based on this, and each one of these labels is certainly customizable. So if I wanted to build something and repeat it somewhere else, or maybe share it with one of my colleagues, you can certainly do that. But if you look at it, I'm going to query something in my source system. For each result that comes back, what do you want to do? Well, in this case, I want to go ahead and create an account. So it's all there right on the screen. If you look over to the far right, you can see I have a source section as well as a target or target section. So depending on what your integration needs are, you know, I can be sourcing a CSV file, or maybe I want to be connecting into Dynamics CRM, or maybe a SQL database, an Oracle database. We have many different types of connectivity options that are available here within the platform. So if I look over here on the left, I'm going to go back over here and click on the Create Account. I want to show you a little bit an idea as to what is the user interface all about here within the Scribe Online platform. So you can see here I have, for each result that returned from a query, let's go ahead and create account. However, let's say I didn't want that. I'm just going to move that out of the case, and it's nothing more than a drag and drop. And then I can come over here on the right, and I can, let's say I want to do, let's perform a lookup. And what I'm trying to do here is grab that lookup, assuming I know where my mouse is, and let's see if I can't get down there somewhere. I think I'm close. No, that's the update insert. I apologize for this. This is a bit interesting and a challenge nonetheless. But anyway, so what you do is you drag and drop your blocks that you have on the right side of your screen, and you basically move them in place on the left side of your screen here, which is kind of like your sketch pad. So the idea is, okay, if I want to do a lookup in a source system, All right, let's go ahead and perform the lookup. And if I wanted to add some form of filtering criteria so I can have a reduced record set that comes back, I can do that as well. And then I can say, obviously, for each result, I want to actually, before I push any data in Target, maybe I'd like to do a lookup and see if that already exists. And if it does exist, let's go ahead and perform an update. And if it does not exist, let's go ahead and perform an insert. So the interface that you're seeing here is all drag and drop, basically grabbing your block logic that you see on the right side of your screen, moving it over to your sketchpad, your canvas, if you will, and just putting it in the appropriate locations there. And each one of those blocks, after you build it, you would basically double-click on them, drill down into the details of those blocks, and add the additional parameters that would be required for that particular step. So hopefully that gives you an idea as to what the capabilities are. And I do apologize for the inabilities for you to see my mouse and for me to see it as well, so I can click on the right buttons here. But nonetheless, hopefully you've got a good idea as to what this may look like. Now, we also have a marketplace. If you look over here on the far left of the screen, you can see that I have a marketplace at the second to the bottom. And if I click on that, it's showing you an idea as to some of the additional connectors that we have on top of, let's say, Dynamics CRM, on top of Dynamics GP, or ODBC type of connections, or OLADB. These are ones that our ISV partners out there have decided to leverage the Scribe Online platform to build their own niche connectors and then make them visible here in the marketplace. So you can see a few of those, and this list is constantly growing because obviously there's many different opportunities out there to do integration. So having said that, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to turn it back over to Jason.
Okay, Rich, a nice job there in spite of the display issue with the mouse. But thank you very much. I will take control back here, and we will move on to our next presenter, and that is Tara Hershend of Silverpop. Tara, I'm going to now give you control and open up your phone line.
Share my screen here.
All right. Yep, feel free to go ahead. All right, we see your screen.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, and thanks for having me, and thank you to all that have joined. I just want to spend a few minutes this afternoon to talk to you guys a little bit about Silverpop, an IBM company, and I'm going to mainly focus on our Coreimus product, but I'll tell you a little bit about both of the products, and then we'll dig deep into Coreimus. So first, just a little bit about Silverpop. We understand marketers' needs and the challenges of reaching customers in the constantly changing world of marketing. And as a result, we want to offer you the digital marketing software that helps marketers transform the customer experience and increase engagement and drive your revenue. So who is Silverpop? Silverpop is the only digital marketing technology provider that unifies marketing automation, email, mobile, and social in the Microsoft channel. We offer two products, Coreimus and Engage, and as I mentioned, Coreimus is what we'll mainly focus on today. That is our Microsoft Dynamics Focus product, and then we also have Engage. And sure enough, as Scribe was going right before us, we actually leveraged Scribe for our Engage platform and having that connector to Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So just a little bit more about Coreimus. It's a powerful email and marketing automation tool built natively within Microsoft Dynamics CRM. This allows you to increase your marketing effectiveness and drive your ROI. With a quick provisioning to your CRM, Coreimus allows you to give your sales and marketing teams visibility into prospect behavior and the ability to target them with relevant messaging and track those responses. You can also capture your customer and prospect data from email campaigns and website activity and push those directly into your Microsoft Dynamics CRM. And then we also automatically score and route these leads to your sales based on the demographic and behavioral information. And something special about Coreimus is we offer, something special about Coreimus within the space, but we also do it with Engage as well, is that we offer different onboarding programs. We have a complete professional services team that talks about e-marketing strategies and can give you some campaign expertise, and also HTML services. So just a little overview of Silverpop, and which we are very excited to be an IBM company now. And they acquired us to help them deliver the IBM vision of helping the marketers deliver empowering digital experiences and converting those prospects into loyal customers. So just a little bit about what we do and how we are involved with the Microsoft community. So we have over 2,000 implementations, over 5,000 clients, Coreimus is transferred into 15 different languages. It can run on all versions of CRM. We have over 500 plus employees just within the Silverpop area, and now being a part of IBM, that number definitely skyrockets. With Coreimus, we have a 15-minute go live. We can provision with online, Office 365, on-premise, partner-hosted, anything like that. We have a full-service deliverability team and a little bit of what I mentioned before, a professional services team as well. And what we really try to do is focus on creating those individual experiences versus building just an audience. And that's something we've been passionate about for a long time. Customers and prospects don't want to just be messaged to, they want to interact with our brands. They want to be educated and assisted and treated like a real person with individual interests and preferences. So you can see a little bit of how we work and how Coreimus technology works with your CRM. So all of your information and all of Coreimus sits within the Windows Azure cloud. And so this lets you know that your data is secure and stored in the region of the world that is with your local protection laws. And you know, with July right around the corner, the CASL law is coming out. That's something we've been very focused on and something we're helping be proactive with our customers on making sure that they are compliant. So now let's talk a little bit about the behavioral marketing approach and what this means. So on the customer and prospect side, your customers are changing and so are their expectations. You must be everywhere they are, and the number of channels the marketer has to address has grown exponentially. Your customers are interacting with you on all of these different channels and want this behavior to be recognized and understood. So with all these multi-channels, let's take email for example. How many of you have received an email from a company that is in no way related to you? All of us have, I'm sure. Behavioral marketing takes an aim at the center of the bullseye. The golden rule applies here. Treat others the way you want to be treated. You expect to be catered to in your buying process, and guess what? So do your customers. So whenever you interact with your customer base, they are interacting with you as well, and you need to follow up on those interactions. This is not just a communication preference. When you shop on a website, and we all shop online, I probably do a little bit more than my husband wants me to, but maybe we're shopping, we're researching, or we're actually buying. But these companies are capturing data about you, whether you're knowingly giving them a uniquely identified information or not. You can easily leverage that information to directly market to those individuals based on their behavior. So some of you might ask, why is this important? I'm sure you guys have seen this number before, but I think it's a very important number. I want to make sure and hit on it. So your prospects are 57%, on average, 57% of the way through the buying cycle before they even reach out to any of your sales reps. Like I said just before, they're researching and learning on their own, so delaying the need to actually reach out to your sales team until late into the purchase. So with that, if you don't nurture leads, that means majority are going through the sales cycles and you're not getting a say until they're over halfway through the sales process. So we've noticed that 64% of marketers do not use automation to nurture leads. And remember that they're on average 57% of the way, over halfway through the sales cycle before they're reaching out to you. So here are some examples of what you could use nurturing for and some of the behaviors that they're telling you that you can act on. So we have different purchase hot buttons. So a sales rep initiates based on something that they're doing within their discovery call, maybe a reactivate. So you have some old leads and you want to check back in with them 6 months or 12 months after the initial contact. Maybe if you haven't even heard from them, just give them a check-in, hey, how you doing? And that might spark a new conversation. You can also do something like with a webinar like we're doing today or trade shows and send out reminders before and afterwards. And then also maybe with some lost sales. So highlight your strengths over the competitor they selected and reach out to them. Again, maybe use that reactivation and reach out, check in, see how their contract is going with that 6 months or 12 months down the road. And what your prospects do is what is far more important than what they're actually saying. So what they're doing on your site, maybe interacting with emails, filling out web forms, doing downloads, things like that, are telling you a lot more than what they might actually tell your sales rep on that sales call, in the discovery call. So the best thing to do is to learn how to understand those behaviors. So using a tool like Coreimus, you're trying to understand the buyer's behavior and nurturing to those interests. So did they visit a page on a specific product? Are they very price sensitive? Are they looking at your pricing page? Are they very active on social? Is maybe sending them an offer free demo on Twitter going to help push them over that ledge? So your behaviors can transform how you score and how you nurture, and all of that can be automated within Coreimus. And something that's even more important is understanding the behaviors that can transform the speed and depth of your sales reps' impact whenever they're talking to a person. So you're capturing all these valuable behaviors that will make your calls more targeted and effective, so you might as well use them. Okay, here's some information on what you have and maybe what you could have. So it would be good if you had some demographic information and you knew that they were a VP or maybe a manager and they were in the manufacturing industry. Well, wouldn't it be even better if you knew that they downloaded these 2 white papers and they visited your site 3 times in the last 2 days? So you can tell maybe their task, their to-do list for this week had, do more research on this, find a vendor for this. So having this better information will help you target to them better. And with that information, so if you went from having that good information to that better information, what would you do differently if you knew it? So it may be a trade show booth visit delivered twice the deal value of a demo. So whenever they talk face-to-face with somebody, that's what gets them excited and that's what makes them want to follow up with you. Or maybe attending a specific webinar, on-site demo, or maybe your sales VP follow-up had a negative impact on the deal. Nurturing also improves your ROI. I'll just kind of click through these real quick. I won't read them to you. But you have 2 times the open rates and 3 times the click-through rates of those one-off emails, 23% shorter deal time, and higher win ratios. Now let's take a look at what Coreimus offers and how it fits within your CRM. So Coreimus offers email marketing, nurture marketing, lead scoring, web intelligence, landing pages, web forms with a direct feed to Microsoft Dynamics CRM, surveys, and much more. Let's take a quick look at how Coreimus fits within your Dynamics CRM. So you can see here, this is an example of Coreimus in Microsoft Dynamics CRM 2013. And you can see I have Coreimus just in my main dropdown, and then that second screenshot you can see is Coreimus and it pulled out. So again, you can see those mailings, the mailing templates, A/B testing, web forms, all of that. Here's an example of how your mailing will look inside of your CRM. So you can see that you can go in and directly leverage the CRM fields with your campaigns and marketing list and pull in merge fields. You can see my mouse here, down in the HTML editor, you can see that we have hi contact dot first name. Now this is a generic, pretty simple one that most people will use. But think of all of those different merge fields you can use to pull in maybe what stage they are in the buying process or what their favorite interests are, what product they're interested in. You can pull all that information in and leverage it within your mailings. We can also show you what your email is going to look like with inbox preview. So this will show you how it's going to look across multiple email service providers, multiple inboxes, and you can get a quick snapshot to make sure your email looks exactly how you want it to before you send it out. And then you can also see in our tracked emails and the campaign results. So here's an example of an email that was sent out, and here are some of the results behind it. So you can see the fast results, the web pages that are tracked to it, any of your bounces, and we separate your hard and soft bounces, your unsubscribes, and then identify your hot interaction points. We also offer A/B testing. So maybe one person will react better to a more Outlook not so HTML, not so image-heavy email, where others might like the more flashy image-heavy emails. So you can send out A/B testing and then let your audience tell you what they would like to receive. So in this case, let's say that they really like to see more of the template style and have more images and have it more of a newsletter layout versus just a plain Outlook email. And this is how you'll build your A/B test within Coreimus. So you can see that we have your two mailings. You can pick and choose what percentage you want it to win, and then you can view your statistics at the bottom. With this, you can also generate automatic follow-up tasks. So we have things like add to a marketing list, put a follow-up activity for one of your sales reps. You can send an internal email notification. You can create a campaign response. You have all different sorts of actions you can have off of these mailings and off of WebForms. And to talk a little bit about WebForms, here's an example of some WebForms that our customers have created and how they're using them. So here's one to the left. You can see we have it on a power play. So this is with the New Jersey Devils, and they want you to help them pick the next goal song. So you can go in and fill out this Coreimus web form, and it's completely integrated within their landing page. You can see it's over to the right of the page, and fill it out and help them pick their next goal song. Some other example forms are over there on the right. So let's look at how you will actually create those forms. So you are, again, leveraging in Dynamics CRM your campaigns, your records, and all of your fields. So down in the field section, I could use any of my CRM fields and pull information from that. So say I have a CRM pick list, I could pull that information in, or I can also push that information back out. So this is directly feeding into your CRM, so you can say, let's update their company, or let's update their industry, or maybe their role, and it will automatically push that information into CRM for you. And then we also have our survey builder. So surveys, again, will help you map directly back into your CRM leads and contacts and let you see how people are interacting and what they think of you. And just to kind of wrap up, I just want to show you, here's some examples of we have so many instances and so many installs. We wanted to just ask, what do you love most about Coreimus and what makes you choose us? So here's just some examples of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana and the New Jersey Devils of what they had to say about us and why they chose us. All right, well, I wanted to make sure and not run over my time, so thank you guys very much, and I'm happy to answer any questions, and I think along with the other two as well. I'll send it back to you, Jason, and we'll let you escape here. And
all right.
Give it back to you.
Yeah, I'll grab control here for you.
Great, thank you.
All right, well, thanks, Tara, as well as Rich and Nick for presenting today. And let me just bring up our three presenters' contact information. They'd all be happy to take your questions right now, and we invite you to ask questions either specific to one of our presenters and their solutions and expertise, or anything more general about Dynamics CRM and perhaps about marketing challenges in particular, kind of given some of the themes we heard today. We'd certainly like to hear your questions too. I did want to pose one question to all three of you, and it's really about marketing solutions for Dynamics CRM. So I was wondering if each of you could maybe give an example of a situation where getting the right users involved inside of an organization was really critical for success in one of your customer solutions that was either being built out or being supported. And maybe we'd start with that one. And why don't we go back to our first presenter, who was Nick. Nick, would you like to give any feedback on that?
Sure. Yeah, I think part of it ties into that kind of success really ties into what we heard from other folks along the way here, and just thinking about how the buyer's journey has changed. And so what that means from a marketing standpoint is you really need sales and marketing to be on the same page in terms of what that messaging looks like. And so that's why, as we help marketers get their technologies in line, we're really talking to the marketing group, the head of marketing, the head of sales, the head of, the chief revenue officer is obviously the person that is often involved in these sorts of decisions, and that can be clearly tied into marketing and sales. So the higher up you can get the stakeholders, the higher up you can get buy-in that technology is going to be leveraged to support a process and support a process that, has engagement in the hands and responsibility for engagement in the hands of both marketing and sales. You need both of them involved to make each other successful. So we make sure that alignment is there, and the more that you can get those two groups on the same page, the more you're going to be in line with what modern marketing means today.
Okay, thanks, Nick. Rich, what do you think?
Yes, I would have to ditto what Nick had just mentioned. But, at Scribe, our focus is more about providing data at its point in need. And, we're obviously seeing, and we've been seeing, that these customers, these companies are becoming more sophisticated. They're understanding why it is to have data at its point in need so they can operate more effectively, more efficiently. It's all about that, providing data and being able to react to customer situations and, not being caught off guard that, let's say, a salesperson is creating a sales order, come to find out later in the process that their account's on credit hold. So, getting data at its point in need is just a mandatory thing nowadays to not only increase customer satisfaction, but just to, operate more efficiently within the organization.
Okay, great. And Tara?
Yeah, so I'll kind of piggyback on those as well. So I agree, Nick, with your, originally bringing up kind of that blurred line, or trying to blur that line more between sales and marketing, and how Rich described a little bit of it too. Something big with Coreimus that I see, and I've actually had the opportunity to travel around and work with a bunch of our clients. I did a little bit of training. Now I'm more on the relationship manager side, but something I really love about that is getting able to see different marketing plans and how people are using it differently, and not just being focused, on one marketing plan with this. User adoption is a huge thing, I think, with this. We're usually selling more to the CMOs or the higher ups, but if the people that are actually using it on the day-to-day aren't getting what they need out of it and aren't adopting it, then there's not as much value to it, and there's not that retention. So I think something great that you want to make sure is that you have actionable items and visibility across all sales and marketing. Something that I really see that the sales team likes and the marketing likes as well is the sales team can kind of have a library maybe of emails that they can send out that are pre-approved by marketing. So no more of the sales team sending out emails with a lot of exclamation marks in the subject line and red text with highlights and all of that. So sales and marketing can really start to get along a little bit better and help each other out and have visibility across both of those channels and across both of those kind of the efforts of what both teams are doing.
Okay, well, we are going to end it there. I want to just thank our attendees for, thank our presenters first for sharing with us today. So Nick, Rich, and Tara, thank you very much. And I also want to thank our attendees for being on the line today and for being here and watching this session. So thanks again. We'll be putting up a recording very soon, and have a great day.
Thank you.